Ready or Not is a new tactical shooter that, while isn't called a SWAT game, it basically is an unofficial SWAT 5. But in this video I am going to convince you as to why you should consider getting this game. But if you are looking for a tactical shooting game, this game does not disappoint because it's pretty hardcore. And every single mistake you make is excruciatingly punished. And the thing is, I feel confident running around with a pistol in SWAT 4, but not this game. The enemies have ridiculous reaction times, but look, if you want a tactical shooter that's different to the other games that are like military based, this is a good change because you have to be disciplined in how you use your weapon. And you need to make on-the-spot decisions whilst coordinating with your mates, which if you do play with random people, you'll get people that act as if they belong to the special operations group, and you'll also meet some interesting people.
You boys want to breach, mate? It's directly in front of the door. Whoever wants to kick it down, mate, just go duck, because we're going to fucking blast this cunt. Fucking kick the door, mate. Fuck you doing, mate? Taking a piss. I can kick it, mate. Yeah, we got a bloke down. We got a bloke down.
As well as some incompetent people. I'm talking about myself. Oh, Jesus! And there was even this one person, I'm pretty sure he was 12, or he sounded like he was 12 years old, yet he was still able to play the game better than me. Like, he was doing a better job than me. He was being all like tactical and stuff, and I'm like trying to comprehend in my head like what this kid sound like. I'm not smart enough to decipher this. And then everyone else in my team was like, yeah, roger that. My teammates were like, oh yeah, we're gonna see to the door, flashbang, push right side. I'm like, what the fuck? I can't keep up. But what I'm trying to say is it felt like what I imagined. It's my interpretation of what being a part of the SWAT team or Special Operations Group is really like. But if you have played SWAT 4, Ready or Not takes a fair few gameplay mechanics from SWAT 4, such as the ability to micromanage the squad, the ability to use the body camera to see where your teammates are, having to relay information back to TOC, and rather than pick up evidence and act like a hoarder from Fallout, instead you have to actually bag the evidence and you don't need to carry it around with you. There's also a familiar point system where if you shoot someone you aren't supposed to, you lose points.
Take it.
And you also have to scream, get on the ground, and the people you arrest have some really strange voice lines that you're saying.
My mom has a Mexican maid. You might know her. So, nice tattoos.
But like one really frustrating thing about actually, you know, the civilians or AI basically, is there was this one guy, he had a Tech 9.
Gun, 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 gun!
And me and my teammates were like screaming, get on the ground. I'm like pepper spraying the shit out of him. And then I'm trying to beat him or punch him with my gun. And like he's just resisting. He is not going down. And the thing is, I'm right up in his face. And this was my fault. I learned a very valuable lesson. But he just fucking pulls out his Tech 9 and
God damn it!
guns me down in like 0.3 seconds. And then I'm like, god damn it. Because we spent so long, like 20 minutes, going through the whole entire house just for this one singular guy to gun me down because I was, you know, I wasn't more reactive enough and I didn't have my shield out, and I probably could have done that in hindsight. But holy shit, things can go from 0 to 100 instantly.
No, go left here. And
I see, I see.
And I'll toss a flashbang in.
Alright, 3.
Are you kidding me?
There's a trap. Are you kidding?
What?
But I will get to the maps and equipment in a second, but how does the overall gameplay feel? Well, performance-wise, the game runs pretty smooth. I only get FPS drops whenever I use like the little body cam and stuff, but overall runs very fine. And the game is best played online, mostly with friends, but my friends aren't going to just drop 50 AUD on this game, so the next best thing is with randoms. I found 9 out of 10 times you actually play with people who try all. This is in my experience in the Australia region. I even had one guy teach teach me about positioning, and I found that really helpful. No one was really toxic except for this one lobby who just went in like the Russians during the Moscow theater crisis.
Remember, boys, we take no hostages. Everyone in this house fucking dies.
And then one guy just started pepper spraying me for some reason, but you need to take things slowly. Don't rush. You need to check doors for traps. It is essential that someone has an opti wand. Very essential. I like to be the guy with the shield and also go through the door first. You also need to coordinate yourselves. Like, I'll open the door, the next person tosses a flashbang, and then some guy with a shield will run in one direction, and then you gotta take every room in this manner.
Okay, I'll bang or you bang.
Santo bangs. Lead will open.
But you don't know true fear when you're using the shield and you're getting shot at. It is so nerve-wracking. The guns also feel really nice. Like, they're very loud, like really freaking loud. The animations are nice and smooth. This also includes kicking in doors. That's really fun. But overall, the gameplay does feel fluid. And it isn't like ridiculously high intense, you know, Battlefield style, if you know what I mean, in terms of action-y. It's slow at times, but things can get really intense really quickly. It doesn't have boring gameplay, if you know what I mean. There are never really any moments where, you know, you're walking for extended periods of time, only when, you know, you might miss a suspect and you're trying to find the last civilian or whatever. That does happen, but the game is very rarely boring. You also have an expansive amount of equipment to choose from, such as an opti wand, which I mentioned earlier, which allows you to see under doors, and in my opinion is the most important piece of equipment. If you don't have one of these in your squad, it's like going in blind, because if you kick in the wrong door, you are going to get gunned down. Take it from me, I learned that the hard way.
Alright, you wanna go in? Yeah, I did not see that guy whatsoever.
You also have a ballistic shield, which is my favorite thing to use. It also feels so epic being behind one of these and taking shots after shot and your teammates are behind you, safe and secure, gunning the guy down.
Me. Go.
He's right around the corner.
You also have a variety of weaponry that range from rifles, submachine guns, I've never actually seen anyone use these, as well as shotguns, and you also have the less than lethal weapons, which a lot of people from SWAT 4 do like as they want to go less than lethal, and this includes a pepper ball gun or paintball gun, whatever you want to call it, pepper spray, beanbag launcher, and a taser. You can also customize the weapons to the way you like. I like to have a flashlight on my primary weapon, but I also like to have a laser on my secondary weapon, so when I use the shield I can see where I'm aiming. You can also customize the way your character looks. At the moment it's pretty bare bones, but I do hope to see some, like, I want to see if they add in like the Special Operations Group, which is basically the SWAT team for Australia down here, or Victoria, my state. I'd love to see that implemented. Maybe some, I want to see customizational elements to it, but I don't want to have like, you know, fuck pink DD Pat skin or whatever, you know. I want it to be realistic, if you know what I mean. Even when I've been to Greece many times, like, I know this is sort of political, but people always say, oh, American police are too militarized. Like, have they not been, you know, this person's never been to Europe. Like, whenever I go to Greece, there's always like, I don't know what you call them, but they're like counter-terrorism units. They're like fully like kitted out, borderline soldier looking people on like motorbikes, and they have like the MP5 and everything, and it's like no one complains about that. But sorry, that was a little bit off topic, but I want to like slap a Greek flag on and pretend to be one of those guys. But you can also customize the type of armor your character wears. Like, do you want to wear no armor but be very mobile? Do you want to have some form of armor but also be mobile? Or do you want to have heavy armor but be very slow? You can also customize the helmet. Using night vision goggles on the farm map is very useful because it's literally pitch black, but you won't be resistant to flashbangs, stingers, and gas. Always coordinate with your teammates what you want to use, because some guys started throwing gas grenades when everyone else was resistant to flashbangs. But in terms of graphics, game looks fucking sexy. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, like, it's not cyberpunk levels of graphics. No, this game, it looks good. It's solid. I play it on ultra graphics and it looks beautiful. No complaints. You got like the nice wet surfaces, neon lights are beautiful, performance obviously like it's good, it works. I just need to say that in my experience, I do run it on ultra and I do get high FPS. In terms of maps, you don't have like a massive variety like in the older SWAT games, but obviously the game's in beta, so more maps are going to be added. I want to see the ability for modding as well as custom maps. Apparently they are going to add, this is like a rumor, like there's going to be like some school-based map, if you know what I mean, and you can select different game modes such as active shooter, and I just hope they implement a way that doesn't sort of glorify it. Like active shooter is harrowing. It is really harrowing because like you can hear people screaming, gunshots, and you need to be really quick. You need to rush in there and take down that shooter because you lose points if, you know, civilians are dead and whatnot. But one thing that I liked about SWAT 4 was the atmosphere that it creates, and this game does not disappoint. This thing has some really horrifying things in this game. Now, obviously there is going to be a school-based level, and at the moment in the game, there is a child in the game, and there was also another level where you'll raid a port. If you do it on the raid game mode, there's actually a container that you need to find, and there is a woman in there who's been trafficked, basically, and it's just, it's sickening. It is absolutely fucking sickening. And you know, this is what I like. The developers just don't give a f. They're gonna show like the worst of what these people have to fucking deal with in their line of work. And honestly, I'm all for it. Admittingly, a little bit concerned about what the school level will involve because the Australian government just does not like anything involving children. But knowing the old fucks in Parliament, they're just gonna ban the physical copy of the game, which probably just doesn't exist. So they're gonna be like, oh yeah, if you're caught with the physical copy of the game, you're gonna get a $10,000 fine, and you're gonna need to fucking write an apology to ScoMo. But the map designs themselves are long and extensive. They aren't small and compact like some maps in SWAT 4. They are pretty damn large. Like you might need to spend over 20 minutes on a map making sure you cover every piece of ground, but that was in my experience. Heck, even if you're not careful, you can lose your squad mates because some of the maps are really maze-like. But some of the things that I want to see implemented into this game, obviously this is just my opinion, is the ability for modding as well as custom maps, not too much variety of weapon within reason, but you know, more customization elements. I just hope to God they don't make this into some sort of like Rainbow Six game. I want it to be similar to SWAT whilst also, you know, being its own thing, and I want it to stick to its intended idea. But if you want to see other game reviews, this wasn't really a review, but other game videos that I've talked about, please check out the playlist on screen. But anyways, I'm going to end today's video there. I hope you guys did enjoy it, because if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Anyways, my name is Tan2, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.